In this lesson, we're going to talk about Enterprise Resource Planning, or ERP. Now, to understand what an ERP system is, I think it's first important to understand why they have become so popular. Now, we've already discussed accounting information systems. It's a formalized process to collect, store, and process accounting information. The key here is it's accounting or financial information. But what about other types of information, non-financial information? Surely this information can also add value to an organization. Let me give you a few examples. Let's assume that a company has several delivery trucks. On the accounting side, what do we need to know about these trucks? We need to know about depreciation, so we can track that. Perhaps we need to know about some maintenance expenses. But a well-run business is going to seek to minimize these expenses by making sure that vehicles are inspected and repaired regularly. Now, where is this information typically found in an accounting information system? Well, historically, nowhere. These inspection records would have been kept in another database. Here's another example. When companies make a sale, the accounting information system records revenue and accounts receivable, but there's a lot of other information about the customer that companies can leverage to improve their business, such as customer preferences. Now, historically, this was kept in a secret system called a customer relationship management system. You're probably more familiar with this concept than you think. Let me share with you how I learned about this. Now, when I started buying groceries online, I noticed that very quickly I was getting recommendations for certain products. And without fail, it would recommend ice cream to me. Now, I realize I have this ice cream aura, but still, I don't need the computer to point that out, right? The bedroom mirror does a good enough job without the computer. So I started going to the gym. I started dieting. I started covering up my webcam so the computer didn't know who it was that was ordering these products. And still, I was getting these recommendations for ice cream. You've probably had some similar experience, so you're probably embarrassed and you won't admit it. Why does this happen? Well, it's because the store recorded my preferences from my previous transactions. It not only knew I liked ice cream, it knew my favorite brand, it knew my favorite flavor. It could track what time of day and what day of the week I'm most likely to buy. It's brilliant, right? I'm happier because it's easier for me to buy my favorite things, and the store is happier because it increases sales. Now, where is this non-financial information recorded in the accounting information system? Again, historically, this information is kept in a different database. Now, anytime you have multiple databases, the biggest issue you encounter is trying to ensure that the information is updated simultaneously across all your different databases, because any discrepancy is going to cause problems. Now, wouldn't it be easier if all of this information was in one database? Absolutely. That's why we have Enterprise Resource Planning Systems, which is the integrated management of core business processes. An ERP integrates all these systems and links the accounts receivable database with the sales database and a customer relationship management database and anything else that makes sense for the company. There are many benefits from using an ERP system. Because everything is linked together, it's updated in real time. Teamwork is encouraged because information is widely distributed. These systems are expensive to implement, but they lower costs over time because it eliminates redundant systems. Finally, better information means better management, right? Better decisions. We can improve operations. Now, by this time, it's clear the value that this information brings to a company, but we have to have good underlying data. So a database management system is what companies use to protect data integrity. It's the interface between the database and the applications that use the data. For instance, when a sale is made or we order raw materials or a customer pays a bill, the database management system updates our database so that we have up-to-date data. Now, the system controls access to the data. A company only wants certain individuals to be able to enter sales data, for example. This protects data integrity. The database management system also defines how people see the data. So let's say individuals in the sales department, they can call up customer data to determine customer preferences, customer's birthday, whatever else the company thinks that the sales team needs to know about those customers. But what does the accounts receivable department need to know about customers? They don't need very much of that at all. They need to know what customers owe and whether they're paying their bills on time. The database management system can be programmed and customized to suit the needs of different employees. Now, how does the database management system differ from the ERP? Well, database management systems have been around for a long time. That's what we use to update and protect the underlying data. An ERP is sort of built on top of the database management system. It relies on the database management system to maintain good data, But an ERP system is really focused on linking these databases together throughout the enterprise. Now, the last thing we're going to discuss today is the data warehouse. A database management system processes transactions as they occur within an organization. A data warehouse is a searchable repository for that data. Data warehouses don't process data or transactions. The data here are already aggregated, they're already cleaned, they're already organized. Data warehouses are used for analysis. This is what companies use to determine what kind of ice cream I like to eat and how to target individualized advertising to their customers. Okay, so I know we've covered a lot in this lesson. The big takeaways are that companies are becoming increasingly adept at being able to use data to improve their operations. ERP systems are combining financial and non-financial data and making that data more accessible throughout the organization. Database management systems maintain the integrity of that data, and data warehouses are used to analyze that data for patterns and trends. Information is valuable, or at least it can be if companies can take advantage of it. That's why companies are spending more and more resources than ever at tracking everything they can about customers and finding creative ways to understand that data to add value.